Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're in the green room, which is actually my bedroom, which has green walls. If you don't have green walls in your bedroom, what are you doing? You have a green screen, ready and accessible all the time. Okay, so today we're gonna be rating my guitars based on tunability, funness to play, aesthetic value, and a bunch of other factors that we're going to dive into. So stick around if you're interested in that and are interested in learning more about like which guitar maybe is right for you, or which guitar you would rate at certain things if you agree or disagree with my ratings. So the first one that we're going to be looking at is this beautiful Les Paul. I figured we'd go chronologically in order of the time that I got these guitars in my guitar journey. So the first guitar that I actually got, other than my acoustic, which was like a $50 Yamaha acoustic that I just picked up, which was not good. I didn't have it for long because I knew I wanted to play electric guitar. But so the first guitar that I actually got was this one, and I know what you're thinking. This is not a cheap guitar. And I'm well aware, I was not expecting it. I actually got it for my birthday, I think like my 12th birthday or something crazy like that. I was young. And I asked for an electric guitar, expecting like a Strat or like a more basic beginner guitar, but my dad went all out and got me this Les Paul. But it actually ended up not being that beneficial to me because it's kind of hard for a beginner to play because the neck is really thick, and the playability isn't great. But now that I've been playing guitar for a long time, I really like it. And I've been actually picking this guitar up more these days. Let's turn up the volume a little bit here. Because it has like this dark and mellow and like this darker tone to it, and I really like that. I don't know, something like very edgy about it, and I want to start playing around with all the tuning capabilities it has more. So as far as aesthetics, I mean, come on, like this thing's beautiful sunburst. Like, you can't argue with that. You really can't. And it has like the lovely pearled inserts in the neck, which is really nice. And now that I'm not a beginner, the neck doesn't actually feel as thick as it felt when I was a beginner. So I'm glad that I didn't end up like trading it in or anything stupid like that. I'm glad that I kept it because now I really appreciate the quality of this guitar. So yeah, as far as tunability goes, honestly, I'll give it a 9 out of 10 just because I haven't like experienced the best tuners in the world, so I can't give it a 10 out of 10, but I tuned all of these guitars beforehand, and this one was definitely the easiest to tune, and it stayed in tune the longest as well. So with a high quality guitar, you're gonna get better tuners, and the guitar is gonna stay in tune longer. Back to aesthetic value, like look at this line that runs along that just like adds a contour to the shape of this guitar. Here in this rating, this is kind of like America's Next Top Model, but for guitars, you know, we're looking at like the swimsuit competition, like the shape of the guitar and the personality and the qualities. What good does this guitar do for the world? No, but yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of different functions on here that I haven't actually played with too much, but there's more tone knobs and just more knobs in general than most guitars. Usually most guitars have 2, but this one has 4, so you can really play around with different sounds, and it has like this raised pick guard, which is really cool. This guitar is just like very good quality, very good aesthetic value, and pretty small body as well. It's not like you can't get your arm around it, or it's not like sticking out in some weird way. It's very, very comfortable to play. So that's some of the things that I love about this guitar. And let's keep it at that because I don't want this to be a 30-minute video, and we got 3 other guitars to look at today, so let's move on to the next one, shall we? Turn my amp off so I don't give you a bunch of feedback. And the next guitar that we're going to look at, the next one that I purchased after this, was actually, actually this was another Christmas gift. You know, I try to sneak in the guitar Christmas gifts where I can. I asked for this one. It's not too expensive. This was kind of like my big gift of the year. So I got this Telecaster here. This is the Fender Telecaster Affinity series. It's, I believe, $149 in the US. And this was the one that's produced in the Indonesia factory. Fender has multiple factories, so like people say that where you get where your guitar was produced, whether it's Indonesia or Japan or China or the US, they have a different quality, a different sound to them because of the wood and just the way that they're manufactured. So this one is the Indonesia, but I have it on open D tuning. I forgot when I started playing. Yeah, so I love this guitar on open D tuning. I have a cover of Beabadoobie's 1999, which is in open D tuning. That's why I just left it in that. I try to keep at least one guitar with open D tuning, so when I go to play certain songs, like it's already ready to go and ready tuned for me. But yeah, this guitar, I have a whole other video about me reviewing why I love the Telecaster, so you can really hear me talk about this guitar a lot because I really like it. So yeah, I got this one as a Christmas present as well because, like I was saying about the Les Paul, I wanted an electric guitar that was more basic, like very blank canvas electric guitar, which this is perfect as. This is just classic electric guitar. You want electric guitar? This is electric guitar. It was like the first model of like what electric guitar like was and popularized by Fender. So this is the real deal electric guitar, basic electric guitar. I just said electric guitar like 50 times, but it's very basic. Has 2 knobs, has this tone switch so you can do front pickup, back pickup, or middle in between the 2. There is no middle pickup, but it'll pick up the sound from in between. And the neck, super easy to play. This was just a great purchase. The only thing is, like I was saying, since it is cheaper, the tuners are not as good, which means when I go to tune it, I have to really, really be careful when I'm twisting the knob because it'll jump forward or jump back, and it'll be hard to like line it up and get the perfect tune sometimes. So that's the only thing really that I have to say about that. Also in the other video I mentioned that as you're strumming, sometimes you hit this knob here because it sticks out, but it's really not a big deal, and you can do like some finger picking and you don't even have to worry about strumming it. So this can be like your designated practice guitar, which is what it is for me, but I have grown to love it when it's become my practice guitar because I play it and then I'm like, I actually really like it. And as you can tell, this one has different wood for the neck. I believe this one's laurel, and this one I believe is like it's like a dark maple. Maybe it's Kona. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I probably should have researched that. But they vary from guitar to guitar, obviously. But I find that the wood on this guitar is very soft to play, on the neck, so it's very nice for beginners who don't want their fingers to feel like super sore or have it hard to press down the strings. So it's really good for that as well. As far as aesthetic value, I like the clean, basic aesthetic of it, you know? It's very minimalist. It's not like your crazy sunburst one, but you can add stickers to it, you can jazz it up and like make it super cool indie. If you guys follow Biba Doobie, like I was just saying, she always like adds really cool stickers and stuff to her guitars and makes them very cool and grunge. So that's like a way to add aesthetic value to this blank canvas of a guitar, you know? So yeah, I would give it as a whole. Oh yeah, I didn't give the other one as a whole. As a whole, Les Paul, I would give it, let's say like 8 out of 10. I'm happy with it, but I'm not like in love with it. And it's a good guitar. It's just like for my personal preference, it's not like my favorite guitar, which I'll talk about later. What is my favorite guitar? And yeah, so as a whole, this one, I would give it, I would also, to be honest, I would also give this an 8 out of 10. Because it's just like, it's solid. Like, you can count on this guitar. It's like very reliable. It won't let you down. You can have hours and hours of practice on it. It's not gonna let you down. So I think reliability is like a huge thing when it comes to guitar playing, because you don't want to pick up your guitar and have problems with it or have it not be what you want it to be. And I never had that issue with this guitar, so that's a win in my book, to be honest. Okay, so now that we've talked about that one again for a long time, like I said, if you want to hear more about Telecasters and why you should get a Telecaster as your first guitar, as I did, I have a whole video on that, which has been getting a lot of awesome comments that I really love reading, so you can go check that out. The next guitar that we have is not, we don't need this because it's acoustic. This thing, it's so small, by the way, I'm sure you can tell, like in proportion to my body. It's a travel guitar. This thing is like, it's very, very light. It actually has a warped back on purpose, so it sounds more hollow and there's like a nicer tone to it. This guitar is really fun to play. It's my go-to for the summertime. I'll go outside and just like play this guitar on the steps. It's very nice aesthetic-wise as well. It's got really pretty wood grain patterns on there. And yeah, it's just like, it's very folky, I would say. I don't know if I think that because it's small and it's like acoustic-y, but I just feel like this is what I would play like indie folk songs on. And also for practicing, it's really good too, because the neck is small and thin, but one downside is there's like less frets, so you can't like play like the 17th fret or anything like that, which isn't a huge deal if you're just practicing. I mean, that's why you have more than one guitar, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the main reason I got this guitar was because I was going to school in California and I needed like a guitar there because I was coming from the East Coast, so I didn't bring a guitar initially, which was a mistake. But no worries, I just got this used acoustic one at Guitar Center. Guitar Center pulling through like always. And so I got this thing, I think it was like maybe $100, maybe less, I don't know, but it's been like a lifesaver, to be honest, like keeping me sane. And it's a Mitchell, I have my capo on here. It's a Mitchell Travel acoustic guitar. Like I said, I got it used, so I'm not quite sure exactly what model it is, but it's really nice. I would give it like a 7 out of 10. It's a really good guitar. I know that there's like so many better acoustic guitars, but it does the job. I give it a 7 out of 10 because the tuners absolutely suck. they're so bad. I actually should give it maybe a 6 out of 10 just because of that. Tuning this guitar is frustrating at times because the tuners are just all over the place. Every time I have to tune it, even like within a couple hours, if I put it down and then I pick it back up to play again, I have to retune it. So that's definitely not a pro. And also tuning it is a process because I'll be turning the knob and it'll go way over, and then I turn it back a little bit, nothing happens, turn, nothing happens, and then like turn it a little bit and then it just jumps again, and yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If you know. If you know, you know. But anyway, so yeah, that's like definitely the downfall of this. But as far as like traveling and reliability, I would give this like guitar a good rating as far as travel ability. And also the price, you can't beat that. You really can't beat it. It's like a guitar for like the price of like 2 nice meals. Like, can't beat it. And also, yeah, as far as aesthetics, there's like this nice little like rainbowy circle around there, which is really nice. Yep, so this was the 3rd guitar, like I said, got in California, and now it lives with me on the East Coast. And the 4th guitar, drum roll, last but certainly not least, actually, is my beautiful Jazzmaster, which is also used guitar that I got right before COVID. Yeah, what a time. Anyway, we're not going to get into that, but we'll get into this amazing, very thin, super... When I said the other guitar... That was the tremolo, I'm so sorry. I'll pick that up after. But when I said the Les Paul was easy to play, this guitar is super easy to play. Or super comfortable, because it's so thin. Like, that's my finger. Like, look how thin that is. It's insane. The technology of these guitars like never ceases to amaze me. So let's plug him in. This is a him guitar. I'll plug him in. My Telecaster is definitely a female, but this is my he guitar. He goes by the pronouns he, him. I draw my tremolo, which is like one of the coolest things about this guitar. That is a main reason why a lot of people are interested in it, because, you know, bands like My Bloody Valentine and other bands of that time kind of used this tremolo sound to revolutionize, like they revolutionized that sound in music. And just very iconic. But yeah, so that was like one of the main draws of me getting this guitar, and a lot of bands that I listen to these days, like Snail Mail and others, use the Jazzmaster because they're inspired by bands like My Bloody Valentine, etc. So like I said, this was used guitar, so I got it at a pretty good price. And also the colors are special edition. This is Candy Apple Red and Gold, which is really nice. Aesthetic value, I mean, come on, like it's gotta be 10 out of 10 or close to 10 out of 10. It's really cool. And there's a lot of different capabilities here. This is actually just like the volume knob. They just put them above and below for easy access, for like people who are playing on stage can just, you know, change it like so. And also I love the curved head of the neck. And the tuners, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Like, to be honest, the tuners on this I feel like are as good, if not better, than the Les Paul ones, and Les Paul's like way more expensive. This guitar, how much was it? I think it was like $300. It is a it's a Squier Jazzmaster, but I'm pretty sure it's like 60s vibe, 60s classic vibe. Which the 60s and the 50s classic vibe that Fender came out with are just phenomenal. Honestly, they're like Player series like quality, but just like a little bit cheaper. And I would definitely recommend getting those before the Player or instead of the Player, or at least or at least trying them out before you make a decision, because there's not that much of a difference between the sound, in my opinion. So yeah, so here we got the Jazzmaster. Yeah, so the story behind this is I got it used because summer was approaching, and I was like, I need more instruments to express myself on. So I found this in the store, and also I'd been really wanting a Jazzmaster to add to my collection of, like, I have like almost one of each of like the classic types of guitars. So I saw this and I was like, this is meant to be, so I just went for it, and it was used, and just calling my name, you know, like a puppy that needs to be adopted kind of thing. So yeah, this guitar is also really easy to play. I really like the fact that it's used, actually, because it kind of has like this broken in feel to it, which is really nice. So the strings are like kind of like mellowed out. I don't know how to describe it. It's not tinny, it's not twangy. I really don't like that sound in a guitar. Not that it's bad. I mean, like, a lot of country artists and classical artists like that, like, higher, tinnier sound, but I just like the really mellow, almost like muted. This guitar just sounds amazing. As soon as I plugged it in to play it at the store, I was like, I can't say no. Yeah, so I would give this guitar, for sound, it's like, I mean, it's like gotta be an 8 or 9 out of 10. For aesthetic value, 8 or 9 out of 10. For lovability, also very Valentine's Day, no? You know, Valentine's Day is coming up. It's like perfect for that. Maybe I'll do like some love song or something like that on it. Also, tremolo is just like a huge plus, which just adds a lot of value and versatility to it based on what genre you're playing. So overall, I mean, I would give this guitar, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Now I'm kind of like rethinking my Telecaster. I should have given my Telecaster like a 7 out of 10, because it's like a staple. Acoustic is like 5 out of 10, does a job. Les Paul, we'll still give it an 8 out of 10, because, you know, it's just very good quality and well made and beautiful. And this one as well, same deal, but just like they're very different. All of my guitars that I've been playing for you guys today are very different. And I hope this was like helpful for you if you're trying to decide between different guitar types. You should just get a Jazzmaster. I'm just saying, get a Jazzmaster, Telecaster, or a Squier, or I mean not Squier, or a Strat. I wish that I had my Strat here so I could play that as well. I apologize, but I will be doing a Strat review when I go back to school, because a lot of people were asking about what my Stratocaster was, where I got it, etc. So I'll do a little story time about that. So stay tuned and subscribe if you're interested in hearing about my pink, shell pink, and mint pickguard Strat, which I love. Yeah, so yeah, that's the video, to be honest. Like,